Hey friends, it's Nikki Jackson coming to you live from Rock Hill, South Carolina, where we've got a week 12 business update for you. If this is your first time joining, thank you so much. This is an entrepreneurial journey vlog, so to speak, and I'm just kind of capturing some of the highs and lows because there are many when you first launch your own business. This week for me, there were so many voices happening in my head. I'm not sure if you've ever experienced that. I'm sure everybody has, but it's like no matter how good things are going, you just are kind of waiting for the next bad thing to happen, like you're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. And it turns out I was listening to this podcast. They had brought this physician in, and those nagging voices that are in your head aren't really your voices. In fact, you're not really born believing you're not good enough, right? They come from outside sources. So maybe you had a really harsh teacher or a critical parent or a bully, things like that. And over time, those voices seep into your mind and they start to feel like your own thoughts, but they're not. It's somebody else's negativity and you don't have to listen to it. So here's the thing. Your mindset is basically like the way that you see the world. So when you start to feel hopeful and tell yourself, why not give this a chance? You start to see possibilities everywhere. And I'm not so naive into pretending that everything is perfect. It's not that simple. It's really about training your mind to work for you and not against you, like fine tuning, so to speak. So, for example, have you ever noticed that when you want something, when something's really important to you, and for me, that's this business right now, but there's been other times too, something silly like my Jeep. I was on the market. I wanted a Jeep Wrangler, and all of a sudden, everywhere I looked, there was a Jeep Wrangler on the corner. Or when I wanted a baby girl, there were pink headbands everywhere, right? Well, again, I was listening to this podcast, and there's actually scientific reason for that. And it's because your mind is trying to help you by highlighting what's important to you. So you can train your mind the same way with a gratitude practice. And by focusing on what you're grateful for, you teach your brain to see more of the good stuff. So whenever I caught myself this week thinking about a negative thought, I would try to flip the script. What if this works out? What if it doesn't fall apart? We don't really know what's going to happen, right? So why not give yourself a chance and imagine things going well? And it's a small shift, but I do think that it is helpful because, again, your mind is always working to help you. And once you figure out what really matters to you and make it a priority, your brain is going to adjust and help you see a whole new world of possibilities. So I'll give you another example. I was timid. I had this marketing campaign. We've got this survey out there, and it's from the front lines, claims adjusters speak out, because I don't think a lot of adjusters, much like any other profession, answer surveys from their employers. Even if they feel they're anonymous, there's always that twinge of doubt that they're really not anonymous, right? So I'm doing my own research study about some reactions from adjusters and how they're really perceiving their place in the world right now. It's really important to me. I'm trying to get 1,000 responses. And so my son Parker said, I want to help. I can be in this marketing campaign. I'll go to the Dollar Tree and I'll get some poster board and we'll do one of those flip boards. And I thought, oh no. What if everyone thinks that this is a really horrible idea and that I'm just using my kid as a ploy or a tactic? Because I was, right? Trying to get more responses, more visibility. And I said, nope. What if they love him? What if this works out? And I'm so glad that I did, because we did do it. I posted it on all of the platforms, and we now have over 500. We're halfway there responses out of the target of 1,000. So that happened. I also had a business meeting that I thought was just this friendly, free consultation advice session. And it turned out the guy was contacting me for work, and I felt like such an idiot. I just made this assumption that, hey, my services are too expensive. That's not really what he wants to talk about. He just wants some help. And in reality, he was on my website, picked out a marketing package, and was ready to go. So it taught me a valuable lesson is to never, ever, ever assume somebody else's circumstance or situation. It wound up being a win for me. So happy about that. Another life lesson on Saturday, went to the trail, a huge tree down right in the middle of my path. I had to go the opposite way that I normally go. And it turns out it was a really beautiful scenic route. And I grabbed a little photo with my daughter. So, after the storm comes the rainbow, right? Anyway, thanks for following along. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but sometimes it's a little cathartic as well for me. So thanks for following along and for your support in this journey. I'll see you next week for a week 13 update. Go elevate your narrative. See ya.
Elevate the narrative.